When can a landlord or buyer legally ask a tenant to move out? My name is Yashpir Kudal and I'm a real estate lawyer at Capital Law. Here's what you need to know about the N12 notice. In certain situations, a landlord or a buyer purchasing the property can end a tenancy, but it has to be for valid reasons. That is where the N12 notice comes in. An N12 notice can be used if the landlord's close family member, or someone providing caregiving services is moving into the unit and plans to live there for at least 1 year. Additionally, the N12 notice can be used if the property is being sold and the buyer or the buyer's family intends to move into the unit. However, if the tenant believes that the notice is not genuine, they can take this matter to the landlord and tenant board. In this situation, the landlord or the buyer will have to prove their true intention to move into the property. The landlord must provide the tenant with at least 60 days notice, and the termination date set out in the notice must fall on the last day of a rental period, or if it's a fixed term agreement, the last day of the lease. The method in which the notice is delivered will determine when the 60 days begin and when they end. Additionally, the landlord must provide the tenant with either 1 month's rent in compensation or provide the tenant with another unit that is comparable and acceptable to the tenant. Where things often go wrong is with bad faith notices. If a tenant believes that the landlord or buyer doesn't actually intend to move into the property, for example, if they relist the unit for rent shortly after the tenant moves out, the tenant can take this matter to the landlord and tenant board. In cases where it has been deemed that the N12 was served dishonestly or was not satisfactory, landlords have been ordered to pay tenants up to several months' rent and damages. In situations like this, a small mistake can lead to eviction delays, dismissed applications, or even serious penalties. If you are a landlord or tenant dealing with an N12 situation, please reach out to our office. Our contact information can be found in our bio.